You know me as a chubby baby with a bow and arrow, a harmless cherub who makes people fall in love on Valentine's Day. That is not me. That is a lie they told to make you forget how terrifying I truly am. I am Eros, and I am the oldest thing in existence, older than Zeus, older than the stars. Before there was sky, before there was earth, before there was anything at all, there was chaos, and then there was me. I am not a playful child. I am the force that drives all life to unite, to create, to destroy themselves for another. I am the reason empires fall and poetry is written, and I have been here since the very beginning. They tell many stories about my birth. Most are wrong. The oldest story, the true one, comes from Hesiod. In the beginning, there was only chaos, a vast, empty nothing. Then came Gaia, the earth, and then came me, Eros. Not as a baby, but as a fundamental force. I was the principle that made things want to come together. Without me, the universe would have remained scattered, disconnected, dead. I am the original glue of existence. In the Orphic tradition, they tell it differently. They say I was born from a silver egg laid by night in the womb of darkness. I hatched with golden wings and split the egg in two, the halves becoming heaven and earth. I was the first light in the darkness. They called me Phanes, the shining one, the first king of the gods. I created the sun, the moon, the stars. I gave birth to Night herself and took her as my consort. I ruled the universe before Zeus ever drew his first breath. But then Zeus swallowed me, absorbed my power, and remade the world according to his will. He became the new ruler, and I became diminished, a child, a servant, a shadow of what I once was. But my power never left him. Every thunderbolt he throws, every law he enforces, my force flows through it all. Creation still runs on desire. In my new form, I became the son of Aphrodite. My father is Ares, god of war, because love and war have always been intertwined. My brothers are Phobos and Deimos, fear and terror. My sister is Harmonia, balance and peace. We're a strange family, are we not? From violence comes desire, from desire comes fear. From fear comes the desperate need for peace. My mother, Aphrodite, is the goddess of beauty and love, but she does not control me. I am her assistant, her weapon, her beloved but disobedient child. She sends me to shoot my arrows, and I do, but often where I please, not where she commands. I am mischievous, unpredictable, cruel sometimes, because love is not gentle. Love does not ask permission. Love strikes without warning and leaves wounds that never fully heal. I carry two kinds of arrows. The golden ones, tipped with brilliant, burning gold, inspire uncontrollable passion. They make you fall in love with the first thing you see. The leaden ones are blunt and heavy. They create aversion, disgust, rejection. With these two quivers, I control the fate of gods and mortals alike. No one is immune, not Zeus, not Hera, not even my own mother. The god of love carries arrows of both attraction and rejection. Which one have you been hit by? Let me tell you what my arrows do. There was once a proud god named Apollo. He was beautiful, talented, beloved by all. One day, he mocked my archery skills. A child with a toy bow, he called me. So I shot him, a single golden arrow straight to the heart, and I shot the nymph Daphne with a leaden one. Apollo pursued her with desperate, burning passion. She fled with absolute horror. He chased her across the world, begging, pleading, promising everything. She ran faster, prayed harder, until her own father turned her into a laurel tree to escape. Apollo embraced the tree, made its leaves his sacred symbol, and wept, all because of me. Then there was Medea. I shot her at my mother's request, to help Jason claim the Golden Fleece. One arrow, and the princess of Colchis betrayed her father, murdered her brother, and destroyed her entire life for a man she barely knew. Love made her a monster. Love made her a murderer. Love made her do things she never would have chosen. And Dionysus? I drove him mad with desire for a girl named Aura, the god of ecstasy and madness, driven to greater madness by my arrow. I did that. This is my power. I do not create happiness. I create obsession. I create longing. I create the ache that keeps you awake at night, the hunger that no food can satisfy, the desperate need that makes you sacrifice everything you have. If love makes us do terrible things, why do we still crave it? Why do we pray to a god who wounds us?
But even I was not immune. There was a mortal princess named Psyche. She was so beautiful that people began to worship her instead of my mother. Aphrodite, furious, sent me to do what I always do, shoot her with an arrow and make her fall in love with something hideous. I flew down to her chamber, arrow notched, ready to strike. And then I saw her. I cannot explain what happened. Perhaps I scratched myself with my own arrow. Perhaps the force I had been spreading for eons finally turned back on me. Whatever the reason, I fell. The god of love fell in love. I could not shoot her. I could not harm her. Instead, I convinced Apollo to give a false prophecy that she must be left on a mountain to marry a terrible serpent. And then I sent Zephyrus, the west wind, to carry her to my hidden palace. I visited her every night, in total darkness, never letting her see my face. I was terrified that if she saw me, she would reject me. Terrified that if she knew who I was, she would use my power against me. Terrified of love itself. For the first time, I understood what my victims felt, the vulnerability, the fear, the desperate hope that they might be loved in return. The god who wounds others finally wounds himself. What happens when the archer becomes the target? But Psyche's sisters poisoned her mind. They told her she must be sleeping with a monster. So one night, she lit a lamp while I slept. The light revealed me, not a monster, but a beautiful god. But a drop of hot oil fell on my shoulder and I woke. I saw her holding the lamp, her eyes wide with wonder and fear, and I knew she had broken the only rule, trust. She had chosen doubt over faith. I flew away without a word, and then I did something I had never done before. I suffered. The god who caused suffering finally felt it himself. I languished in my mother's house, wounded, heartbroken, refusing to shoot another arrow. Psyche wandered the earth looking for me. She faced impossible tasks set by my furious mother. She descended into the underworld itself. And through all of it, I watched. I ached. I loved her more. In the end, I went to Zeus. I begged him, me, the ancient force, the primordial power, begged like a mortal for mercy. Zeus was so amused he granted my wish. He made Psyche immortal, and we were married on Olympus. Our daughter is Hedone, pleasure, the child of love and the soul. What does it mean that pleasure is born from the union of love and suffering? Why must the soul be tested before it can find happiness? I am Eros, the oldest and the youngest, the creator and the destroyer, the force that drives the universe, and the child who cries when love goes wrong. They paint me as a chubby baby now. It's safer that way, easier to forget how dangerous I truly am. But every time your heart races, every time you can't sleep, every time you'd burn the world for one more moment with someone, that's me. That has always been me. Subscribe. Love never ends. It only changes form.